Welcome to Whispers of Grace, where stories breathe hope and faith finds a voice. Here, we tell tales that touch the soul, stories of love, redemption, and the quiet miracles that happen when heaven meets our everyday lives. Whether you've come to unwind after a long day, to find peace before you sleep, or to be reminded that grace still whispers even in the dark, you belong here. Every story you hear carries a message that no matter where you've been, God's grace can still reach you. So, sit back, breathe. Let the words wash over you like gentle rain on a weary heart. Welcome home to Whispers of Grace. Threads of kindness never break. The passing of years. The morning sun touched the tailor's shop just as it always had. But time had changed everything. The cracked walls now glowed softly under a new coat of paint. The little bell over the door still chimed with the same gentle ring. And Samuel, older now, his hair silver, stitched with hands that had never stopped giving. Children's laughter echoed outside. The world had moved on, yet his rhythm remained, slow, humble, grateful. The visit. A black car pulled up to the same curb where it had all begun. The same rain-washed street where years ago Samuel had offered his umbrella to a stranger. The tailor looked up, eyes narrowing in recognition as a man stepped out. Not the desperate young businessman from that night, but a confident CEO with lines of kindness etched into his face. The CEO entered quietly, holding something wrapped in cloth. "Mr. Samuel," he said softly, "you once helped me when I had nothing. I came to return what money never could. Gratitude, the gift." The CEO unfolded the cloth. Inside was a plaque engraved in brass. "To the man who stitched kindness into every life he touched." Samuel's lips trembled. He touched the engraving like it was sacred. "You didn't have to do this," he whispered. The CEO smiled. "I had to. You changed the way I lead. You taught me that business means nothing without compassion. The next generation." Behind the CEO stood his young daughter, clutching a small bouquet of lilies. She stepped forward shyly and placed them on Samuel's counter. "My father told me you were his miracle," she said. Samuel smiled, eyes wet. "No, child. Your father was mine." The girl's laughter filled the shop. It was the kind of sound that reminds you heaven smiles when kindness completes its circle. The legacy. Years later, Samuel's workshop became a community space, a small school for young apprentices learning not just tailoring but humility and grace. Every stitch they made carried a whisper of his story. Outside, it began to rain again, soft and cleansing. Samuel stood by the window, smiling at the sky. "Threads of kindness never break," he murmured. "They just keep weaving new beginnings." Episode 6. The Promise in the Rain. The tailor's final work. The rain came quietly that morning, not heavy, not wild, just soft enough to sound like an old hymn. Inside the shop, Samuel sat by the window, threading a golden string through a piece of white fabric. It wasn't for a customer. It was his last work. A gift he said God had told him to make. A child's tiny suit stitched with care and prayer in every fold. As he worked, his hands trembled, not from age, but from the weight of something holy. He whispered, "Lord, let this be the one that carries my story forward." The unexpected visitor. The doorbell chimed. Through the misty glass appeared the CEO's daughter, no longer a little girl, now a young woman standing in the rain holding flowers. She rushed in, smiling through tears. "Mr. Samuel," she said breathlessly, "I came to tell you. I'm getting married. And I wanted you to make the suit for my son one day, the way you once clothed my father's hope." Samuel looked up slowly, eyes shining with disbelief. "So that's why God had me start sewing this morning." The girl's tears fell faster. It was like heaven itself had whispered the same promise to two souls at once. The prayer. Samuel laid the finished suit on the counter. The golden thread shimmered like sunlight on water. He placed his wrinkled hand over it and prayed softly, "Lord, may whoever wears this garment walk in mercy, grace, and love. Let this be more than clothing. Let it be a covering of kindness." The young woman knelt beside him, holding his hand. They prayed together, a final moment between generations bound by one act of compassion, the goodbye. That night the rain grew stronger, the same kind that had once brought the stranger to his door. But this time, Samuel didn't reach for his umbrella. He simply stepped outside, closed his eyes, and let the rain fall like a baptism. He smiled faintly, whispering, "It started in the rain, and it ends in the rain. Thank you, Lord." By morning, his chair by the window sat empty. Only his needle and the golden thread remained. But outside, the clouds broke open, and sunlight streamed through like heaven saying, "Well done." The promise. Lives on months later at a quiet baptism, the young woman's newborn son was dressed in that same golden-stitched suit. The CEO held the baby, eyes filled with reverence. He whispered, "Samuel, your kindness lives on." And as they stepped outside, rain began to fall, gentle, radiant, shimmering with light. Kindness, it seemed, had found another generation to clothe. Thank you for listening to this story of faith, kindness, and destiny. If this story touched your heart, remember, grace still whispers in every ordinary day. Stay close, stay kind, and come back soon for another story from Whispers of Grace.